Hello, hello. Welcome to the Hoops Rehab Show. Happy Halloween, Eric. How you doing over there?
Happy Halloween is right. Good, man. Little under the weather. Probably you can tell a little bit by my voice, but things other than that, and lost my voice a little bit yelling at the Dodgers.
Oh yeah, I see that Dodger shirt.
Yes,
Game
sir.
7, baby.
Yep. See what happens. But I also saw Luka come back a little earlier than expected and do his thing, which I know we'll get into. But yeah, pretty good night.
Yeah, good night for LA. Got obviously Dodgers forcing the Game 7. Luka coming back for the Lakers and comeback win in the first NBA Cup. All right, everybody. I am the game injury doc, aka Dr. Evan Jeffries. On my right is Eric B. Mack. He is toughing it out tonight. This is his flu game on the show. We are the Hoops Rehab Show. You can find us at the Hoops Rehab Show on YouTube. So if you are live right now, hit that subscribe button, hop in the chat. We're going to be doing a pretty live Lakers talk show. So any of your questions, concerns, or just whatever you want to say about the Lakers, let us know. We also have the Instagram page, so follow us on there. And after this live show, we'll be uploading the pod. So wherever you get your podcasts, it will be there for you. All right, everybody. Ready to get this cracking, Eric?
Yes, sir.
All right. So coming into this night, Lakers are just going through the injury bug. It hasn't even been barely any amounts of game, right? We got 5 games in the season. We got LeBron, who hasn't played. We got Luka, who basically hasn't played the last 3 games. Austin Reaves has been holding it down for the Lakers. Marcus Smart's been out. Jackson Hayes been out. I can go on and on and on. But the return of the man, the guy that we gave the franchise to, Luka Doncic, came out tonight, and he's averaging 45 points on the damn season. First game, 43. Second game, 49. Third game, 44. And what you got to say about that, Eric?
Man, obviously he went out with the leg contusion and then the finger. And so came back a little earlier than expected. I think we saw him questionable yesterday or so. So that was kind of a sign that he may play. But yeah, he didn't miss a beat from his first couple of games that he played, or didn't skip a beat, I should say. Kind of just picked up from where he left off against, I think, was it Minnesota? The Minnesota game?
Yeah, that was his last game.
So it was a week ago, right?
Yep.
So yeah, it was yeah, man. He's kind of on that. We talked about it obviously early in the off season, or when the season was about to start, about the MVP campaign, and he's definitely showing out right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it didn't look like the finger or anything was really holding him back tonight. Obviously, he had the leg contusion, or maybe that groin issue that he had in game 1. That didn't look like it was bothering him. He looked like his old self, or actually his new self, young slim Luka. And again, like, he's the type of player that if he wants to, he can get 40 every night if he wants to. And the best part about how Luke is playing right now is it doesn't look forced. Like, it's not like he's taking every single damn shot. He's still getting people involved in the game, but none of it looks forced from him. I mean, he was 14 of 27 from just a field goal percentage. And then obviously he's where he makes his money is where he gets the free throw line. He was 10 for 13. So I just think that until LeBron gets back, I mean, what going into the season, I already said he's probably going to average anywhere between 33 to 35 points. So I think that he's going to come close to leading the league in scoring. And then without LeBron, obviously that goes up even more, right? So it'll be interesting adjustment for both him and Austin Reaves when LeBron gets back, because they've literally put this team on their backs to start the season.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to hop on the other night, but while Luka was out, I would say Austin Reaves did more than kind of fill in for him. He was just crazy. Obviously had the game winner the other night in Minnesota. And yeah, I mean, tonight he obviously, in terms of a points perspective, 21 points, right? So obviously with Luka back, getting a little bit more of a bulk of the shots. I mean, Luka was 27 shots. Austin Reaves had 14, 5 for 14. So not the best of nights, but still plus 15 out there. But yeah, it's obviously a two-headed monster. And hey, honestly, too, with the Marcus Smart came back today as well.
Yep.
Yeah, at least he started tonight. Thought it was a pretty good lineup out there, and had some good minutes. He's played 35 minutes. I was just looking right now. And a good, big 12 points, 5 for 8, and so yeah, it was definitely a team victory and led by Luka.
Yeah. I want to hop on this comment right now because it's kind of what we're talking about a little bit. But the takeaway for me is AR is underutilized with teammates that need 27 plus shots. He will get his bag, but not on this Lakers team. This is Del Exino Gaming. So my thoughts on that statement is, could AR essentially be a number one on any team in this league, or at least a strong number two? I think you put him on most teams in this league, he could be a very strong number two. However, with the Lakers, I think he will have plenty of opportunities to get his shots. I mean, yes, tonight Luka was kind of getting back in the rhythm, and he took less shots. And one of the, I would say, luxuries the Lakers have, but also could be a problem, is that they have 3 players essentially that do the same thing. Luka, LeBron, Austin Reaves. They can both handle the ball, they can both score, and they can facilitate. So sometimes that can be difficult when you have them all in the game at the same time, because it's like who defers to who and who can control the ball at certain times. And that's why when you see one of them's out or 2 of them's out, the other one just dominates the court. So there is a little bit of that I get a little worried when you think of when LeBron gets back, how that's going to fit. I know LeBron in the offseason worked, I mean, this is what he said, tirelessly on off the ball opportunities. So getting the pass and just shooting, working on like his jumper in that way, which is different than he's done in most of his career. So it'll be interesting to kind of see when he gets back. But what do you think about AR, and is he going to get enough opportunities on this team when it's fully rostered?
Yeah, thanks for the comment. I mean, in terms of getting the bag, I mean, we talked about it on a previous show. Like, his biggest bag could technically come from the Lakers, just because they could pay him the most. So you got to keep that in mind. And then, yeah, it's you got to think, obviously, yeah, for this season, we got to, and maybe next, or we'll see kind of what happens with LeBron. But I think, I mean, luckily those 3 have played together. Obviously, they played the second half of the year last year. One round of the playoffs, so they have some continuity. It's not like we just signed one of those guys this offseason, so I think that will help a bit. But sure, it will be interesting to see when you got 3 guys that do very similar things. But I think that's why we talked about also, like, we always want to see at least 1 or 2 of them on the floor at all times, and that's a good luxury to have when LeBron gets back. That you can have at least one kind of carrying the offense at all times. And so we'll see. It feels like it's going to be a good problem to have, but yeah, I get it. It's like you kind of would rather have maybe someone that is a little different, maybe somebody that could play off ball a little bit more. But as you said, LeBron is working on that, or was working on that. And hopefully we'll get to see that soon here.
Yeah, and if I think of any player out of the group that's probably going to be more off the ball, it's probably going to be Austin Reaves, right? Yeah. I think Luka's just always going to have the ball in his hands. That's just how he is good and how he makes his team better. And same with LeBron. So I think there will be times in the season where you see Austin kind of not looking passive, but just not looking like his normal self when they're all together. I think that's when you'll have to stagger the lineups where, like, all right, LeBron and Luka go out at the same time, let Austin Reaves roll for about 5 minutes by himself, right? So I think they're going to have to do things like that and make sure they stagger it, or JJ staggers the lineups in order to get the most out of their players.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll see when LeBron comes back. And we know how it is. There's going to be people in and out of the lineup, right? Nicks and bruises, back-to-backs, and things like that. So as long as they just get enough time, kind of down the stretch, they should be in pretty decent shape.
Yeah, for sure. So tonight was also the first NBA Cup game, Eric. So we already started in that action. I kind of almost forgot that was getting started. I figured it started the first week of November, but today's October 31st, so it's pretty damn close. But so now the Lakers are 1-0. Obviously, Memphis is in their little seeding bracket, so they are 0-1. And I believe, was it the Clippers just got a late buzzer beater by Kawhi?
Did they actually? They're up by quite a bit. I didn't notice that it.
Yeah, I guess the Pelicans came back, so they're going to be 1-0 in that in the Cup standings, and the Pelicans are now 0-1. And the only team that did not play from our group is Dallas. So when you look at that group, you think it's a tough group, or is it's actually not that bad?
Wait, so is it? I always forget. So NBA Cup.
So we got Lakers, Clippers, Mavericks, Pelicans, and Grizzlies.
Yeah, I see it here. Lakers, Clippers, Dallas. Yeah, Dallas with just the injuries, Pelicans, Memphis. Lakers won the game on the road, one of the games on the road, so that's a big one. Yep. It could come down to Lakers and Clippers, I would say, to move on to the quarterfinals or whatever it is. But yeah, I didn't realize it either until I saw the game, and I was like, oh yeah, the floor. When you see the floor, you know that it's like NBA Cup time. So, it's we'll see. It's year 3 of it, so we'll see what kind of traction it gets through the years. But I think that group, I would say Lakers or Clippers will probably move on.
Yeah, the Pelicans are 0-5, right?
I'm just gonna say,
Mr. Willie Green,
is he still coaching over there?
I think he got a pretty hot seat. If they come out of this 10 games like 1-9, 2-8, you best believe he's probably not making it out of the season. I know everybody likes him. I know he started off strong as a head coach, but
he did.
It's pretty rough out there in Pelicans world right there. So I can't imagine him lasting too much longer if they keep losing like this.
Yeah, I highly doubt a big portion of it is his fault. But we know how it is in professional sports, right? You've had a rough couple seasons, and they start off bad, like a 1-9, like you said. Yeah, they figure they got to do something, and usually it starts, up top with the head coach. But yeah, I was even thinking so when Lakers were down in the third, I was like, oh man, they're gonna be 3-3, and I'm like, see, it's like you're gonna be playing this 500 ball, and you got like OKC already at 6-0, which is freaking. I didn't realize they're undefeated until last night. So you just know that they're like on their way to that 1 seed, but you got everything from the top to the cellar with New Orleans, but
yeah. Going back to this game with Memphis, because we haven't talked about Memphis that much. There was a point in the fourth quarter where I'm just watching the game, and I'm like, I'd be brutally honest. I was like, is John Morant in this game?
Right.
And I just thought he wasn't on the court, and he was. And I was like, did he what's going on? What's going on with John? He had 8 points tonight. He's supposed to be obviously their best player and a superstar, but to me tonight definitely didn't look like Ja. I'm not sure if he's lost that like juice. I'm sure it's, just one game, right? You can have a bad game. I'm not saying that you can't have a bad game, but I just don't. It's not that it factor like it was before with all the troubles that he's had, the suspensions, the injuries that he's had a couple major injuries recently too.
Right.
It just looks like it's not like, we used to think it's Ja and Luka like running this league. The next ones, right? So it's kind of interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, I mean when I first saw that Jock Landale was like the high scorer, I'm like, wait a second.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
What's going on? But yeah, I mean, how's he been? I mean, with Memphis, it was just a question mark in terms of how they were going to do this year. I guess they're still 3-3, but because they obviously were good for a couple of seasons there, right? They got the 2 seed. I think they made the playoffs. Oh, they made the playoffs last year, but they kind of fell apart towards down the stretch.
Yeah.
Okay, he's averaging 23.4 points in 5 games. But yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to need him to get back to that almost, top, obviously more than all-star, MVP caliber type player.
Yeah. I'm
wondering if that's in the past or if we're going to see that anymore. It's been a rough couple of seasons, and sometimes still young, obviously still has talent, but obviously, right? So like somebody with that frame and the way he plays, and we see it sometimes that the not so much of the career, but the MVP type of play may not go as long as some others, but we'll see. It's still a long way to go, but so far it's been 8 points, really quiet. Pretty weird to see.
Yeah, I mean, and over the last 2 seasons, he played 9 games the previous season, and then last season played 50 games, right? So that just hasn't played a lot of basketball in the last 2 years, right? And I think that's like the unfortunate part, right? Because of injuries, suspensions, and all that stuff. And he was coming off of being one of the like up and coming, he's 24-year-old superstar essentially, and he's still young. He's 26 years old, but I just don't know if he's going to have that same luster and that same, ability to get to that next level. I like to see it. It's just interesting to see that. To me, when I'm looking at the game, he wasn't a big major part of it, and it was kind of like, wait, where is he at? Oh, yeah, that's right. He is on the floor. So just kind of interesting to see, because mostly with the superstar, you're not going to have that.
Yep. And then they don't have Desmond Bane anymore, too. Obviously, you got traded to Orlando in the offseason. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how they do. Don't anticipate them. I mean, maybe kind of like play-in territory, or at least battling for play-in. Yeah. But I think that's probably their ceiling.
For sure. We got another comment here by Oliver Garrett. Let's go LA. Both of our teams won. Los Angeles Clippers, Dodgers, and Lakers.
Both of our teams. Wait.
Excuse me, sir.
Both? Oh, wait. Who's both? Oliver, I see 3 teams over there.
I appreciate the comment, but please don't include the Clippers and Lakers in the same sentence. But, I respect you. The Clippers did win. But you know how we feel about the Clippers as true Laker fans there.
Yeah, thanks for the comment though. But yeah, go Dodgers and tomorrow night, and then obviously Lakers for the rest of the season.
For sure.
I think the Clippers will be all right too. They'll be all right as long as they stay healthy. So I think I'm sure those teams will have similar records. Ty
Lue is always going to have his team coached well. You know what you're going to get. You know how well they're going to be playing throughout the season, no matter who's on that roster. So I don't doubt they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. Obviously, way too early, but we'll see what the seeding kind of gets to towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like Clippers did win a close one down the stretch there at the Intuit Dome.
Yep. All right, so Lakers are not afraid to have any injuries to start the season, essentially, or are just the unluckiest team at this point. So Deandre Ayton played the first half, played roughly 17 minutes. It was an interesting stat line because he had 9 points, but he had 0 rebounds, right? And the Lakers also gave up 69 points, which was, they had a terrible second quarter where they couldn't play any defense. Going to the third quarter, you hear the reports that, Jackson Hayes is starting over Ayton, but they didn't say like there was an injury. So that was kind of an interesting comment to kind of start it. And then slowly, Ayton kind of came out onto the bench. You can see by the trainer, athletic trainer and physical therapist was kind of working on him. And then there's reports that he had some low back stiffness to start the game, or in pregame, and then kind of got warmed up, was able to play. Again, tried to go for a lob, and his back tightened up on him, and that's kind of why he never returned. They said he could have if they truly needed him. So that is a good sign. That is just more of maybe a muscle spasm or just tightness in the back where it's like, it just feels stiff. I can't do my normal movements. So it doesn't look like this will be like a long-term thing. Looks like he should be ready on Sunday. He'll be getting treatment probably over tonight and tomorrow, even on Sunday before the game starts. And I don't anticipate him to really miss much time. However, I will say, Eric, going into the third quarter, obviously this is where they had to make up a lot of ground. And they had a 34-point, gave up only 22 points in the third quarter, had a lot of good defensive movements with Jackson Hayes and putting Vanderbilt at the what, Eric? The 5, the backup 5 where he has to be, not with the 4. And so what are your overall thoughts on the Lakers defense and Ayton just in general? I think you're on mute.
It went on mute because I was coughing, but
yeah,
I mean, starting off with Ayton, I mean, 0 rebounds is a concern because we know that's like a big time like hustle stat. Maybe it was the injury a little bit too. I know, when he didn't come out in the second half, we were kind of thinking, oh man, was he like maybe benched or something? And especially because he came back out in his uniform.
Yeah.
And so, but since then, JJ Redick said that just didn't want to risk it. And so probably a little bit of didn't want to risk it along with, we're playing pretty well right now. And so, look, he's had a pretty good start. I think when we signed up for this is kind of what we're going to get. Maybe a weird clunker like hopefully only every 5-6 games, and just something weird happens. And, but if he was injured, he's injured, right? I can't blame him for that. And then the defense, the second quarter was just atrocious. Obviously that's where Memphis built their lead, but in the second half, as particularly in the third, they gave it right back to the Lakers. And I think there must have been definitely some kind of refocus or some kind of systematic change into the second half, because it was definitely a lot different.
Yeah, they've had a lot better third quarter since game 1, right? When they had that awful third quarter against the Warriors, which essentially cost them the game. And then them working on in practice and really revamping how they come out in third quarter with a lot of energy, especially on the defensive end. JJ has made great adjustments with having Jared Vanderbilt and Marcus Smart on the court, and Jared being at the 5, so it's not such a offensive liability. And I think that's where he's just going to have to play from now on, whether or not that's him and Jackson Hayes splitting the minutes, or, one goes in, one doesn't at certain times in the games. They've done a great job, I think, on the defensive end and spurts, right? Not all games it looks great, but they can be a good defensive team when they need to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think like you got those 3 5s now, 3, I guess, centers, and you just every game it's going to be different, like as far as like which one is maybe more productive, and so I think that's like a luxury to have. Like you have like different options. They all have different skill sets and do different things. None are particularly just amazing on offense, but kind of at least give you the size that the Lakers, really didn't have, particularly with Ayton last year. So
sure.
I mean, 4-2, right, to start the season. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about the outlook later in a couple of segments, but hopefully the injury is just a kind of minor thing, and he's back out there on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so got to get into some injuries around the league, which there's been a lot, unfortunately, within the first 5-6 games. We had two major ones the day before last, which were Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Now, Trae Young's injury, he got his knee ran up on by his own teammate. And essentially, you kind of knew, or at least early on, they said that the ACL was intact. So that, give you a sigh of relief as far as it being like a long-term injury. However, They really haven't said anything besides it's a knee sprain and that he was going to miss the Indiana game today. Right? They haven't given any time frame. They haven't given any timetables, anything on it. However, based on the mechanism of injury of where the force was, it is highly likely that it is his MCL, which is the medial collateral ligament, the inside ligament of his knee. And based on the force, I wouldn't be surprised if this was around a grade 2 sprain, which is typically what it is a partial tear. And you're typically out about 4 to 6 weeks. So they haven't given any timeline yet. It's kind of just wait and see. But I know they have the MRI image. I know they have the data. They just have not said it yet. So what were your thoughts kind of early on about that injury and what you saw there?
Yeah, it's a big early season injury. I mean, there's some expectations around Atlanta right now and young team, and definitely got some talent there. And so this kind of slows things down a bit if he is out for those 4 to 6 weeks. Again, luckily it's early in the season, and I'm sure they're not going to want to really take any risks and rush him back. But yeah, just kind of by the looks at it, I know they haven't officially said it, but it doesn't, seem like it's a real quick, 1-2 week injury. And so, yeah, I mean, hopefully, obviously he's, they do take time with it, and, he's back kind of closer to the 4-week mark, but yeah, obviously it's a big blow for the Hawks early in the season.
Yeah, you always hope it looks worse than what it is. I don't think this is a day-to-day type of injury. Highly likely you'll hear that he's out for at least a couple weeks. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if it's just like something he's going to play on in the next couple of days.
Yeah. I mean, we'll find out more here in a bit.
Yep. And then we got. I mean, we're familiar with Anthony Davis, and he's kind of gone through a lot of things throughout the seasons. It was interesting because going into the game on, I think that was Wednesday. Right. He was kind of like questionable, or not questionable. I don't know if he's probable or questionable with bilateral Achilles tendinopathy. Right, here we go. Talking about the Achilles, you're always concerned when a player kind of has that, because it's essentially you had a tendinitis and you have more degenerative changes when it says tendinopathy. And then he left the game and he kind of came up limping, kind of grabbing his Achilles, his left Achilles mainly. And it was later found out that he has a low grade calf strain, which essentially is a grade 1 calf strain. So essentially that's like mild, the mildest thing you can have as far as a strain of a muscle. Mm-hmm. However, you're dealing with the calf, which leads to your Achilles, which you already have an Achilles problem, right? So typically you're going to be out at least 1 to 2 weeks with Achilles strain if it's a grade 1. They said he's going to miss the next 2 games, but I would highly doubt they would try to rush this back because, again, what we've seen in the past, Tyrese Halliburton, calf strain led to Achilles tear. Yep. Kevin Durant, calf strain led to Achilles tear. So you have to make sure that calf is fully healed and strong. Otherwise, that can increase his risk for any Achilles issues.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know like most teams, like kind of like us with the Lakers, are probably obsessed with kind of like wanting to have like early good starts and, get off on the right foot. But I mean, it's definitely more important to, I mean, you don't want to see injuries this early. We just talked about the Lakers injuries, but yeah, like they probably have to, knowing AD and his history, hate to say it. I mean, he has played a lot of games in the last few seasons. So it's not just that, but he does we know that he gets banged up like last season.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, geez, they don't want to think the worst, but they got to really treat it like that is possible, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And just, you got to just take his time and make sure he's like 1,000% before he comes back, I would say.
Yeah. I think they'll do a good job of that, and hopefully. But also, just think about when I hear this is how the hell did they trade Luka?
I know.
I mean, he's averaging 45 points per game. He's 26 years old. I mean, I love AD, great player, but he's 32 years old. Obviously, his kind of history with when it comes to like injuries and things like that. And he was not the face of the franchise. I still to this day will be baffled by it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're a little bit off the hook now because of the number 1 pick, which obviously they got super lucky to get. They never knew that was going to happen, but I mean, so if that didn't happen, honestly, I think that's the one thing that they, even if Kyrie comes back, like late this year, early next year, I just think it's Clay is getting just, even though he's not like I mean, he's just older especially with the injuries he's had.
Yeah,
AD is just in and out of the lineup. Obviously Kyrie coming off a serious injury, so
yeah.
I think if they were all healthy and things like that, they'd be almost probably a contender. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see if we're gonna ever see that.
Yeah, they have to get healthy to even see what their team really looks like. I still think they could be a playoff team this year. Probably more likely in the play-in. I don't know if they get a top 6 seed, but they'll probably be at least playing for that 7-8 type of seed, especially if they get Kyrie back this year.
Yeah. Is my man D'Lo playing at all? I just thought about him right now. He's like,
I mean, he's an afterthought. I mean, he's not even. If he can even start, and they're putting Cooper at the point, I think that kind of shows you everything they believe in D'Lo at this point.
Yeah, kind of just a reserve role player at this point. But anywho, let's hope AD gets back healthy soon.
For sure. And if anything, you guys have any comments on any other injuries in the league, let us know in the chat. And we'll try to get to it before we wrap up this show. All right, so let's get into kind of the last segment. It's looking ahead at the Lakers schedule. We kind of just look at the next 5 games and kind of see what that looks like and whether or not they're going to continue the role that they're on right now, being 4-2 and just trying to be higher in the seeding in the West, especially with LeBron out.
Yeah, I mean, they start. I mean, they're 4-2. We talked about if you kind of if you go 4-2, every 6 games for the year, you're at about 54, 55 wins. I was just kind of doing the math a little bit ago. And shoot, that's probably right where they would want to be. And that seems doable. But yeah, we like we talked about the first 15 games or so. I know they got. I got to pull up their schedule. I know they got Miami on Sunday, right?
Yeah. So it goes. We got Miami on Sunday, and then we got a back-to-back at Portland. And you know how at Portland is. It just I don't know what it is, but being at Portland is always a little tougher. And then we got back home against San Antonio. Where San Antonio's 5-0, so that's going to be a little tough game against Wemby. Then they get a little bit of break, and the next game is Saturday at the Hawks, and then Monday at Charlotte.
Yeah.
So if you had to put a little prediction on the next 5, what do you see there?
So it's like I want to go like 4-1, right? But I just know how things are sometimes. You got Miami, you got Portland, you got hopefully a little payback. I mean, Portland came into LA and kind of beat them pretty handily last Monday. Obviously a super short-handed Lakers team. So I'd say maybe a little payback there. Man, I think because you got OKC coming off after Charlotte, so I think you kind of almost have, not that you have to go 4-1, but I think that's going to be imperative. But I'll probably say they're going to go 3-2. maybe a San Antonio loss and I don't know, some other random one in there that you know how it is, like at Portland or like at Charlotte or just something weird. What about you?
Yeah, when you look at him, you're like, oh, I can see them winning that game, but there's always going to be a game where they're going to lose. I think when they get home on Sunday, they should be able to handle business against Miami. I know the back-to-backs are just difficult, and playing at Portland is going to be tough, but I expect them to win that game. And then you got the San Antonio game and kind of see a big test for Wemby and the Spurs is just see where they're at. I think that'll be a huge game against the Lakers. So that's kind of like a toss-up for me. That's a toss-up one. And then you just got to get the Atlanta and Charlotte game so you can either finish 4-1 or 3-2 going into the OKC game.
Yeah. I think like best case 4-1, and then I think the floor really needs, with those 5 games, the floor really needs to be 3-2. And then because it's just very winnable games. I mean, I know it's a 5-0 San Antonio team, which will be tough, but I mean, you do go to Oklahoma City after that. You go to Milwaukee, you do got Utah a couple times, but yeah. I mean, we talked about it that for the first 15 games, it just gotta get to work, and I think we're 10-5 or so. It should be doable.
Yeah, and if you can be 10-5 and LeBron's coming back right about then, or maybe he's coming back about that 13th game or whatever that looks like, because they're targeting like mid-November, hopefully, but JJ still said there's no definitive timeline. That's just their target, what they would like to see. So it's just something, it's all up in the air for LeBron. Like, how is he responding? Nobody really knows at this point. I don't think we will know. It'll just be like LeBron's back at that point. So will be interesting to see, but I think this Lakers squad is understanding. It's a lot different than the years past, right? When they didn't have LeBron, it was like, oh, they're going to be terrible. Can they hold on at 500? Maybe be a little bit below. But I think this team is a lot different. And I think it would be more about how does LeBron integrate himself into this team, which would be kind of different and probably the first time in his career.
Yeah, if it was in the past, if it was 15 games, it'd be like, yeah, just try to get to like that 7-8, 8-7-ish kind of record and go from there. But we're expecting better than that. And so yeah, well, hopefully it is better than that, and then we'll kind of see how he fits in, as you just mentioned. Yeah,
for sure. All right. Got any last little comments there, Eric, before we get out of here?
Just go Dodgers for Game 7 tomorrow night. That's all I got to say.
All right, LA fans. Game 7. Got to watch the Dodgers tomorrow. Hopefully they pull it off and win back-to-back championships. So, but until then, the Hoops Rehab Show is out, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace out,
guys.